Taoiseach, workers are worse off today because of your budget. They're in shock and disbelief. What you delivered yesterday abandons and betrays working people to look after those at the top. You say that your budget was about protecting the economy, but you've pulled the rug from under the very people who are the engine of that economy. People who get up early in the morning, put in hard shifts every day, who, under incredible pressure from the cost of living, keep the show on the road. I'm talking about teachers, SNAs, young electricians and carpenters, retail workers, factory workers. In the budget, they were looking for help to keep their heads above water, looking for a break, but they're shaking their heads in disbelief this morning because there was absolutely nothing for them in what Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael served up yesterday. You, of course, were able to find money to give tax breaks to developers and landlords, but you couldn't find the money to help those who keep this country going. Your raft of broken election promises mean that working people are left behind. No help with the cost of living, the largest tax cuts package in the history of the state, but no break on income tax for ordinary people, no cut to USC, energy credits withdrawn as households face big electricity hikes, no increase in the renters' credit, no action to deliver affordable childcare, no increase in child benefit, petrol and diesel prices hiked up from today, student fees hiked up by €500. And working people are left scratching their heads. After a budget of €9.4 billion, they ask, how can they be left worse off today than they were yesterday? I wonder, Taoiseach, if you had a chance to watch Prime Time last night. If you didn't, I'd urge you to watch it back. You would have heard from Erica, a secondary school teacher. Her husband's an SNA, they have a young daughter, they're renters, they're a working couple trying to build a good life and a future. But the pressure they're under just to get by, to pay the rent, keep the car on the road, meet their bills, is just incredible. Erica said they'd love to have a second child, but they currently see no hope of that. They wonder now if they'll have to leave Ireland to have any chance. Her story and circumstances are reflected right across the state. And when she was told that she'd be down money as a result of your budget, you could sense her heartbreak. She was close to tears. You see, how can you take money from her when she already doesn't have enough to get by? These are the people Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael have betrayed and abandoned in your budget. Tá stanga buinse as ibrahim na tíre nach bhfuil in ann war muséad a creidúnt. Buséad a réigean oibrithe agus teaghlaí tá fóga níos massa as ná mar a bhí ribhe. Taoiseach, ordinary people are asking, when do they get rewarded and recognised for their hard work? When do they get their fair share? Because you're not giving it in your budget. Do you even recognise the hurt and anger that working people are feeling today? Why did you choose deliberately to deliver a budget that leaves them worse off?
Thank you, Deputy Taoiseach.
Well, a dúspar in the anti manécha leis an méid atá láiteag an teachta agus no multi-bhí go hain agus an policy atá go modar leis an cáisné seo ná go mbeidh an costas mar atá ag dul níos arda dá mar rud go mbeidh policy Sinn Féin curtha a bhaim. The bottom line is, if you look at the Sinn Féin's alternative budget, and it's not my calculation, if you look at the central bank's formula in terms of what you're spending, 13.4 billion. In fact, if you add more in terms of your once-off measures, your budget would add 2.5% to the cost of living, to inflation. That, it is absolutely true. And you have been going on all last month, you've been going on about the cost of living. Your budget, and if you look at the central bank's formula for determining this, would have put up inflation and the cost of living by 2.5%. Now, what I would say to you is this. Workers in this country want better water services, want more houses, want better public transport, want more roads and better connectivity in terms of roads, better education services, better health services, and you've gone full circle. You've gone full circle. I never thought I'd hear the day when the Sinn Féin leader would be quoting the Fine Gael election mantra about it's for those who get up early in the morning. I mean, that was one time a slogan that you decried and you would have condemned in your day. And the point is this: we decided that we would invest in the future of working people in this country, that we would protect the jobs that we have, and then invest to make sure we have the jobs of tomorrow, through investment in research and development, through investment in energy, water, public transport, roads, and so forth. And we're doing that. And that's what will underpin workers in their jobs. And this is the first of 5 budgets. And we will be working on our taxation commitments in future budgets in respect of those who are working, as we did in previous budgets. But we also said we would prioritise child poverty. And this is a very progressive budget. Yes, because if you look at the SRI's switch model, they're saying the 2 lowest income deciles get the most from this budget, and a significant amount relative to others. That's what this budget is doing. And I was determined to do it, and I said it in the House we would do it, and it's the beginning of a process to get consistent poverty down, particularly among children. And also, and if you look at, in terms of the child support payment, it's very, very significant. In terms of the over 12 going up by €16, the under 12 by €8. That will benefit about 330,000 children in this country. And it's moving in the direction of a second tier in terms of supporting those most in need. So for children, the €16 is now about 4,000 per annum now. That's the amount for a child in the family in support payment now. That's significant. 3,000 for those of under 12. And then in terms of the carers, it's a record 60% increase in the carers allowance, weekly income disregard. And that's very significant, going from 375 to 1,000. And a single carer can now earn just over 54,000 per year and receive a full carer's payment. Income disregard for a couple increased by 750 to 2,000. And that's there for a person who's in caring in a household where their partner ends up to 108,000 will receive a full carer's payment. These are the largest ever increases in the carer's income disregard.
Thank you,
and in terms of disability, there's very substantial funding gone into the disability budget, plus the domiciliary care allowance is up very significantly. And I did say in the election, the enterprise economy, infrastructure, child poverty and disability were my priorities.
So whatever about me borrowing the phrase well spotted from Fine Gael about those who get up early in the morning, they've clearly forgotten about them as well. The more astonishing thing is that Fianna Fáil, hook, line and sinker, all like nodding wee dogs, going along with the Fine Gael agenda. Incredible. Incredible. Who would have thought? But there you go. I tell you what workers want, Taoiseach. They don't want to listen to your bluster. They want to be able to pay their bills. They want to be able to feed their children. They want to be able to run their homes. Erica wants to have a second child, but that's not on the cards. Erica and her family don't want to be forced out of Ireland like so many others to try and have a chance and an opportunity in their lives. You promised a lot at the general election. It's clear now that elections are where Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael make their promises and budgets are where you break them. You told me only a few short weeks ago, and let me quote it to you, you said that you would do what we can on taxation to alleviate the pressure on people. Now, no one took that to mean landlords and developers. We thought you meant working people. We thought you meant people who generate all of these billions in surpluses. So can you explain again to the working people of Ireland how you arrived at a decision to spend €9.4 billion and leave them worse off? Explain that, please.
There are tens of thousands of people in this country working in cafes and restaurants throughout the length and breadth of the country. They're workers. It's an industry under pressure.
Please, you asked for a response,
Studies showed that increased labour costs did impact on those businesses. And I think you should not be so dismissive of the hospitality sector as you are in your commentary. And likewise in terms of housing. We do need to narrow the viability gap. You're all bluff and bluster about housing. But any time a solution that can contribute to housing, you just knock it and condemn it, and you sloganise, oh, it's a tax break for developers. It is not. It is not. What it's about, I did not interrupt you, Deputy. I did not interrupt your leader, Deputy Doherty. I didn't interrupt your leader. And I think you should stop heckling and shouting and being Mr. Angry all the time. The bottom line is this: housing.
Thank you.
Housing.
Time is up, Taoiseach. Time is up, Taoiseach. Thank you. There's no point.
Well,
Taoiseach, Deputy Ivana Bacik. Deputy Ivana Bacik. Your leader's question, Deputy. Thank you, Taoiseach. Taoiseach, time is up. They don't want to listen, Taoiseach. They didn't allow you to speak. You didn't allow the answer. It's Taoiseach. The point is that. Well,
I think we need fairness.
there is fairness. If they're not prepared to answer within the time, they're not prepared to listen, Taoiseach, in the same way they don't accept it. Deputy Ivana Bacik, please take your question. Thank you. Thank you. Deputy Bacik.
Gurmahagat Can Corla. Taoiseach, yesterday's budget.